Good to see you, James.
Hey,
Thanks for
James.
having us, brother.
How's everybody doing?
I'm
Real
doing
good.
I want to make sure I get your name right. Is it Aleyse?
Yes, Aleyse.
Yes.
You got
Score
it.
one for me. Okay, here we go. So it's crazy to believe it's almost been 10 years since we've had a new episode of Leverage. So Christian and Beth, I want you to talk about that moment. You're all back in a room together. You realized this was really happening and you were back in those roles. What was that like?
It was super surreal.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, it was a family coming back together. A lot of, I've been fortunate to where I've been on a few shows where there's really a great cast, but in this one is, I've told this story before. Like we work 13, 14 hours a day, on the first series. And then we're not tired of each other. We go out and have dinner that night before we got up and work together the next day again. I mean, we just are really, really truly a family, and that doesn't always happen. And you don't, not necessarily everybody likes each other or gets along with each other. We actually love each other. And so to have the family back together where we watch out for someone. I mean, literally, I'm going too much here, but literally, like when it's Beth's turn, when it's Parker's turn to shine, everybody backs up and lets her take the spotlight. And usually people are fighting for the spotlight because they want that thing. And we've all been like that. And we've been like that since 2007. So it's really great to get the family back together because people truly care about what we're doing, who we are, and how we react to the others.
And at least for you, you actually get to kind of jump right in and have a very personal connection with one of the members of the team. So just how close are Breanna and her foster brother, Alec?
I think they're pretty close. I mean, I'm sure there's a little bit of sibling animosity and rivalry and stuff like that. But I mean, anytime you're cracking jokes on another, you just know how much they love each other inside. And I think, the crazy part is that I think Breanna, although she's so excited to be a part of this new team, misses Hardison just as much as everyone else, and he's a big part of, not that she'd say it, what she hopes to be someday. And likewise, I mean, me as an actress and Aldis as an actor, the same applies. I mean, I missed him just as much as everybody else when he would duck in or go work or duck out and go work on other things. But I mean, sheesh, it's been a dream, and Aldis is like a great big bro on and off screen.
I could see that. I could totally see how that would be the case. Now, Beth, for you, it seemed like as I'm watching the episodes, I'm like, nobody's more excited to be back in this team than Parker is, clearly. But at the same time, does actually having Breanna be a part of this team add a little bit more of a sense of responsibility for her, and maybe make things a little bit more personal for her as well?
Oh, heck yeah. I think, what I was going to say, even in the table read, it was like the moment everybody stepped back into those roles, something clicked. And it was phenomenal because everybody was so their character. And Breanna coming in, Hardison is entrusting, this group, but especially Parker, with minding his little sis. And it's a big, scary thing in a way for Parker, although she's evolved and grown and running crews with Eliot and Hardison and, able to grift without completely stabbing somebody, all the time. But there's still moments of her that are like, whoa, hold on. Like, I don't think I did my childhood in the most responsible way here. How am I going to be okay with this? And Hardison really just calms Parker and is like, you got this. And ultimately she knows that. And Aleyse and I we found some fun opportunities actually to bounce things off of each other. And I'm so excited, knock on wood, we get to do this more, because the more we played, the more we found. And the fact that Aleyse found mischief with Breanna the way Parker has mischief, and like she's kind of up for anything when it comes to certain things, and I just love what we found with her, and the whole team obviously does too. So it's been a lot of fun.
No doubt about that. Now, Christian, I don't know if it's just me or what, but you had some great action scenes before, but now from what I've seen, it feels like you guys are really kind of taking things up a notch in Redemption a little bit. So how much fun was it for you? And did you all actually talk about bringing something different to the table this season when you actually got to get your hands dirty a little bit?
Well, the funny thing is that I've actually taken away some stuff to play other characters, because Eliot's always been near and dear to my heart, and he has so many different fighting skills that when I went to go play something else and I had to do fight scenes, I didn't want them to be as good as Eliot Spencer, because Eliot Spencer in my eyes is the best, right? So it was fun. It's actually exactly the opposite, because I got, now there's all the tools were out there. I got to use whatever I wanted. You know what I mean? I used props, I used this and that, I used any kind of fighting style that I wanted to. So it completely opened up, and it was really fun to get back to that character, because other times I'd be like, okay, so it's here, and then I'll throw an elbow, and I'm like, wait, that character doesn't throw an elbow. That's Eliot Spencer. And with Eliot, I got to do it all. But you know, there was a thing around a poll. I don't know if it's legit, but we did 77 episodes of Leverage, and there was 102 fights. And literally, I think Dean Devlin, our executive producer and creator of the show, he came up to me and said, we're on poise to beat that this season. You know what I mean? Like if we went, you know, so I think we had more fights this season than anything. And I'm not a spring chicken anymore, man. So it takes me a while to get out of bed now, but it was a lot of fun. And just to use different things. And now they know, I believe they know how to write something, which is, they just go Eliot fights and then we go do the stuff. So it's fun. Yeah.
It kind of saves on paper a little bit too there. So it's good for you, saving the environment and being
exactly. I'm saving the environment by
well
throwing
done.
punches. You're absolutely right. Thank you.
Well done. Excellent. Excellent. Aleyse, for you, obviously this show, again, it's been 10 years since we've had a new episode, and you're the young buck of the group. But do you actually feel like that makes Breanna even more of an asset? Maybe she's got a little bit more different skills than some of the other team members.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you know, mentioned it a little bit earlier, but just the way she was socialized, and the different types of technology that were around, and I mean, nowadays babies are being raised on iPhones. I mean, just the understanding of technology is vastly different, even from like what I grew up with. Like, I still remember a Razor flip phone, but I think Breanna's bringing that like baby in front of an iPhone sort of sensibility to the crew, and I think she's proud about it, but I think it also gives her like the confidence to make a little trouble and think that she can get away with it as well. And sometimes she gets stopped in her tracks for sure, but yeah, I think that's what she's propping up. And even with her older brother, like, you know, hacking has all of a sudden become a classic thing to do, whereas you know, more of this engineering and, you know, problem solving, you know, creating technology is what she's after.
Did you just say I remember a Razor flip iPhone or a Razor phone?
I sure did. I remember a Razor.
I was just gonna say I loved your reaction to when she said that, Christian. Like, wow. Now
I learned I got my first role when they paged me and I used a pay phone. That's at least what that is a phone that's stuck in the street and you put a quarter into it, and then you have to actually dial.
We also used to have to stick antennas on the top of our cars for our cell phones too. I don't know if you guys remember that or not, but that was actually a thing too.
Yeah.
But
I'm old school. I remember Razors.
There you go.
Right.
Well, we'll all find out what that new technology is on July 9th, IMDb TV with Leverage Redemption. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having us, man.
Have a good one, guys.
Yep.